remember when the Letter P network over there was doing a show on it was This Is Not a Threat from CP, and then he had a guest on there that was like, well, he shouldn't be out there if he's going to be trespassing people's property and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Misinformation sheep. Big time.
That, but shout out to him. Thanks to him. Like, I don't know where he, like whatever his community was doing, I don't know, because he was sitting there thinking that our community was doing it and we weren't. We were just like, yo, dude, this is CJ. He's out there by himself. You're gonna put him in danger by saying he's going on. You know what I mean? Because Tennessee, bro. If somebody's trespassing on property, what's gonna happen, dude?
You're gonna get met with a firearm, most likely.
Right. And when somebody thinks that you're, trespassing because they saw a certain particular program that was promoting that a certain particular somebody was trespassing, what would probably happen?
It wouldn't be good. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No.
They probably would act first and think twice.
Yes, man. It was a crazy time back then. And yeah, it was like, so shout out to him for, allowing me to come on the show and call, because I'm like, yo, man, we gotta talk about this, because at that period in time, I was the only one out there and I was by myself, and it was not cool. Not cool. Right. Especially when I never even did that. But back to what I was bringing it up for was that I was in that same neighborhood on Enoch by 155, and there was somebody that was standing out in the yard. See, because I did a couple loops, and you can see it on the live stream. That's why I got to rewatch it. I don't even remember what date it was. Very early April, I think, like April 2nd or something, maybe somewhere around there. Late May, very early April. Because I did a couple loops. I wanted to get some footage, like I always, like I do. I wanted to get some footage, get it a couple times, because you never know if the other one doesn't pan out or whatever. And when I was coming around, somebody came out in the lawn and was like just standing there staring at me, like mean mugging me and shit. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, but at that time, I was only focused on one house, and it was around the corner, So was I interested in that house? Yes, because I wanted to try and gain access from any of those neighbors to try and go, because the thing is there the woods that I wanted to look at is up on a hill, and everybody's backyard surrounds it, and then there was a construction area right where Enoch, the road basically ends because there's construction. They're going to be building more on to it.
Right.
And that's when I was like, well, oh man, you could get access, but I was like, nah, I'd have to have permission from the construction company, which usually they'll give you permission. You know what I mean? They usually don't have a problem giving you permission. And so I had gathered all that stuff, came back, was figuring out what houses on Stafford, and then what houses on that area up there, Enoch. And I was gonna have a list, and then I was gonna reach out to these people. I was gonna come out with an outline. I always have tons of outlines. I was gonna come out with an outline where I wanted to go first. If this didn't work out, then here. You know what I mean? So I'm maximizing my time. And then that night, all of a sudden, it was a topic on a whole bunch of shows, and then I wake up the next morning, and then all of a sudden this whole thing just went haywire. And that's when it was like, okay, it's just getting It was already dangerous. It's just getting too dangerous already. So at that time, I didn't realize, what it was, but you did a lot of digging.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was doing a lot of digging into the background and seeing who all lived around there and uh, what could be the possibility of it. And I found out that TB lives there. And also, with this photo you're showing, if you pull up this photo and then you pull up a photo of 155 Enoch
Mm-hmm.
right next to it, they match.
All right, so we'll switch to this real quick. So I'll show you that one, and then I'm going to show you them together. Now, as you can see, what we're seeing right here, you can see how Enoch ends right here. That's the construction area that I was talking about here a couple minutes ago. Right? Yep. I stopped here. I was like, man, I could get access to these woods back here, but I need permission for them too. Always. It's always about permission. Never just disrespecting. So give me 1 second, because you got to be doing it the right way, going about it the right way to make sure that the full justice is served for the victims' families and the communities.
Originally pulled up Stafford Court and tried to match it up to that nighttime photo that they were using, and it just didn't match. There's no front of the house driveways.
Yeah.
And then I looked over at the 155 Enoch, and it matches perfectly. Now, if you look on the nighttime version, there's a truck in the driveway of the middle house.
Yeah, right there.
So you really can't see that extra parking area like you can on the other one.
You got the truck right here too. It's parked the same way.
Exactly. But you really tell the difference there. But if you look at the sidewalk that goes into the house, the front door, it matches perfectly.
Yep. Here, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so you got the driveway. Look at the roofs too. It's identical.
Exactly.
It's identical. Yeah. Look, even this car, it's not in the same spot, but it's two spots. You can tell by the way it's parked. Even the roofs here down at the bottom, I mean, everything is right there. So isn't it interesting, my friend? We have a conversation about it on Friday, and then yesterday there's a post that comes out.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm kind of wondering what their thought process is with that.
Well, dude, you posted the video of our conversation on your channel.
Not our thought process, theirs.
I mean, because I was talking woods, and then you're like, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, what's up, Magnum? All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, no, you're talking inside. What's up, Mark and Betty?
Inside.
Yeah, and then what you were digging up before the show on Friday. It's kind of interesting, ain't it?
A little bit, since it's got a lot of bedrooms in that house.
How many? I didn't even fully check.
Oh man, I forgot. I think it's four.
Four. What?
I
Two bathrooms?
I think I would have to pull it up again, but uh,
And you and who built that?
second
Without
generation construction, which
and what's the connection there, bro?
second generation construction is Danny Guy. Danny Guy is related to the Bower Sox.
Oh shit.
Um, I personally don't think Danny Guy has anything to do with it, other than he built the house. Um,
Well,
I
if you
don't.
do, just say DG.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't.
Speculation, right there at the bottom.
Right.
Sorry, had to throw that in there, bro.
You're right. I honestly don't think he's involved.
I didn't say whoa. I didn't say nothing like that.
No, I know you didn't.
Okay.
I'm saying just because I'm bringing
And
up
you're not either, right? You're not either, right?
exactly,
What's up, Grobby?
everybody thinking I am.
Right on. That's exactly right. Just making sure.
Yep.
Just making sure. Yeah. No, it's just weird. Weird, weird stuff.
Coincidence.
Coincidence. There's always coincidence. Well, what do you think? What do you think? Because we'll go back to this tweet. All right. Go back to this tweet. All right. It says Dog Nation. This brings Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers home 225 at 155. Last seen 225. I mean, it's all a message. I'm coming for you. Aloha. So, what do you think it means? You know, we've had the conversation already. We did Friday.
Allegedly.
There's speculation ticker at the bottom, always, in case anybody gets confused.
Yeah.
Even in the description, bro.
I'm thinking that they are thinking.
Right?
I'm gonna pull a quote out of Narc Diver's book here in a minute. Don't get me sued. But
yeah.
No, I think they're eyeballing the grandparents.
You think this house was empty at the time? This is what I'm trying to ask, because I'm going beyond the conversation that we had Friday before we get into this footage. Speculation. Do you think that it was empty and it was used, or do you think that it was being used and something happened there? Do you think it was empty and then Sebastian never even made it around the corner, made it there? Like, what are those three, or is it something else?
He may have made it there and not come home.
But what I mean is how. There's three different ways. Are you thinking he went around the corner and something happened, and then that house became something Of
I think that house became a meeting place
oh,
for a transaction. I'm trying to think about how to say this correctly. Um, that took place and um, in that house. Some
something to do with poker as well, or
that
what?
that could very well be.
Something to do with poker as well. I don't know. I wanted to go a little bit more, since there was this tweet yesterday, and I was like, man, I want to talk more about it for a few, just to kind of dig into it a little bit more with what's going on
I saw that
in your
tweet.
mind.
I saw that tweet and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, me too, man. Me too, because I was like, and then I saw you guys type, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
wow.
I went down some major rabbit holes.
Well, I need to. I need to go down a rabbit hole of my own footage in my live stream that I did that day, because
Yeah.
I need to go through that for sure. So I don't know. If anybody knows the date of it, let me know, please. You'll
No,
save me a huh?
the house is not sold. The house is definitely not sold. I confirmed that yesterday. Um, to put that misinformation to rest for everyone, their house is not sold.
Hmm. What's it? What can you tell me about the house with what you were looking up? What all were you able to look up? You
At the
know,
155,
yeah, like the listing
it was built in 2020. Uh,
2020.
it, it was built by second generation construction. It was purchased, I don't know when, by TB and CB. It is in TB's name. And
As far as I knew from April when I went over there, they were not living there. They were living somewhere else. I don't know if anybody's living there, but it was weird that somebody was standing in their lawn looking at me all freaking weird that day.
right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. If it's like a he builds them and they sell them kind of,
Yeah, it's
or
real estate. Yeah, you make a lot of money real estate,
yeah,
you know.
or how that is about. Um, I can understand him putting it in his name to clear up uh, assets for uh, DG's company. So they don't have that debt.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of different possibilities, but I've found I can't remember exactly right now what they are, but I've found that they have more than one house in their name.
Mm. What's up, Pam? Well, yeah, I mean, if they're into real estate and buying and flipping houses,
Yeah,
it's
and it
like,
could be rental.
huh?
It could be a rental.
Do you, well, that's what I'm wondering. Well, I really need to go back through my footage because I got sideways GoPro
Hmm.
when I went there. Um,
I'd
interesting.
like, I'd love to see if it had a for sale sign in the front yard. fact,
Well, when I went there, there was a lot of, it was obviously a lot of development going on right there in that area. Like
yeah,
they were starting to kind of move back, and
kind of like in the other subdivision.
yeah, and you could see the other, on the other side there was some houses and how it's going to be eventually connected. But
Uh,
those woods back there, that was, I never even thought of the house back then. Back then I was like, because I didn't even know. It's kind of weird now, but
well,
back then when I'm thinking, I'm like, man, these woods.
in the last 9 months, there's been a lot of different developments.
Yeah.
A lot of speculation,
Yeah.
and a lot of twists and turns in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was responding to a comment on my video. You got to kind of read between the lines on this. It's not a straight yes or no kind of a thing, or you got to pick the breadcrumbs out of everything that you're seeing and hearing, and kind of put them together.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's the only way that you gotta. It's
Yep.
like you see the smoke in between you and the truth, and you gotta do the work to blow the smoke out of the way so you can actually see what's behind it, or try and help. Because just look at the other case that we're covering this morning and yesterday. The public, you see something, you say something. Social media is the new mainstream. So it definitely helps, and it definitely makes a difference. So yeah, we'll talk more about that on the next show, man, because I know there's plenty
Yep.
more, and we might even just sit back and have a conversation instead of a content show. We'll just sit back and have a talk the whole time. I think that'd be cool. uh yeah, go ahead, man.
When I pulled up this photo next to the map photo, I had one of those holy shit moments.
Well, yeah, I saw, because it was right after we got done doing a show.
Mm-hmm.
What were we doing? I think we were doing the manhunt. Yeah, we were doing the manhunt all the
Yep.
way until late last night. And then when I got done, like I said, I always go to Twitter for my breaking news, and that's when I seen that post from Dog, and I was like, "Holy crap! What this looks like?" And then dropped it in, and then all of a sudden, you guys were looking up the maps while I was still working on post show stuff, and all of a sudden, I'm like seeing you guys say, "Oh my gosh, that's the exact match," and I'm like, "Holy f!" Yeah, trust me, I had a
Angels.
yeah, I was like, man, like I'm just working on the post prep. It's I have to be focused, like to get that stuff out,
Right.
and all of a sudden I'm looking over and I see something. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah, the oh my gosh.
Oh, is that whenever I posted them side by side?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, because it was like, yep, it's exact match, and that's when,
Yeah.
because I see what the teams type, and trust me, I love you guys. I see all the hard work in real time. I have to be like focused here, but I'm looking over there, and then all of a sudden when it's the oh shit moments during my work, that's when I have to like hurry up and go and pull over here real quick, and then after I'm done, I'll get back to the rest. But yeah, man, it was. I was like, holy hell! But all of this stuff now, like I said, back from April, late May, whichever it was, I have to get the exact date when that stuff was taking place, and then the threats and all that, like we were talking about particular individual doing the show on it and all this stuff, and it's just like there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and it's kind of odd how now in December, almost 8 months later, it's like, whoa, right?
8 months, dude.
That's a long time, but man, now it starts, you go back to that Rolodex, it's like, oh, now I understand.
it's like when I read different comments and posts and everything, following breadcrumbs. I'll read something that I forgot about that happened because of all the stuff that we read, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, oh, well, if that happened, then I got to go down this rabbit hole and, start looking at this and what we know now and what we know then, kind of put those together.
Yeah, because it's all stuff that just it's like pieces of a puzzle, and it's like they don't fit anywhere, So you just let them sit there, and then all of a sudden time goes on, and all of a sudden there's a puzzle piece, and you're like, oh gosh, oh that one fits to this one, and now this one fits to this one. It's pretty crazy. And thank you so much. Trust me, without the community, it wouldn't be a number one place because I'm just a very teeny part of it. Y'all do all the same effort as well as myself, and it's a together thing. It's a community, and that's what I love about it.
It's a community, definitely.